Hello and welcome to another episode of With Love Mama, the podcast. Thank you so much for being here, and I would love to remind you, if you haven't already, to go and subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening. Rate my show. It helps it grow. It helps me and our community reach more mums all around everywhere. Which it's really cool that there's mums listening from all around Australia, even different countries. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And it's so needed because we lost the village that we had many, many moons ago. And this is a really great place for you to tune in and just like get the real and realness of motherhood, whether it's me having baby brain or losing my train of thought in my more educational doula episodes, or it's on a guest episode where you actually get to hear the stories of other mums in different journeys and different, just everything, because it's just this is womanhood. This is just great. So I want to talk today because before I had my son, by the way, I used to do a lot of work. Well, the work I did was solely focused on supporting women with their menstrual cycles and painful periods, painful ovulation, luteal phases, and conception, fertility, all of the things. So that was that's where I specialized. And then when I went on maternity leave, I came back and I was like, I feel so lit up by motherhood and the hardships I've faced in motherhood and all of the things that it actually makes sense for me to just really work with mums more than maidens. I feel so much more connected to the motherhood archetype now, obviously being one, and all of the things. So I just want to touch on that I've actually done quite a lot of work around the preconception of motherhood and working with that stage of life. So why not bring in a little bit of that version of me who knows so much about it all, and speak about like the energetic leaks that could be blocking you from falling pregnant, because it's not always about the physical. It's not always about your health. Sometimes it's actually about the energy and what we're holding on to. And this is a huge reason as well why I do facilitate womb healing at all of my mum's events and with my one-on-one clients and doula sessions, because energy is such a missed part. And I think it's mostly really missed in our culture and our community here in like the Western, like if you go over to different cultures, they really honor the spirit and the energetics of the human body and have a very holistic approach. And that's the approach I love to take. So I want to talk about that because so many women are focusing on taking the right supplements, the timing of conception, tracking everything, getting into that really masculine state of control of wanting it to be like very rigid, and it becomes this cycle where you feel like you're failing and you feel like nothing's working and you blame yourself and you get stuck in that, right? And that in itself is breeding emotions in the body that are just not supportive. And if you are in this state, I don't want you to sit there and go, well, fuck, that's me. Like I'm failing even more because I shouldn't be doing that. No. That's not what we're here to talk about today. We're just here to talk about how conception isn't just physical. It's also oh my gosh, it's also so deeply like intertwined with your nervous system, your safety, with your emotions, your identity, and your energetic receptivity. So like if you're like really like stuck in that cycle of like your masculine, your control, all the things, like where is your space in your feminine to actually receive? Where are you surrendering? Do you know what I mean? So we're just going to get into that little piece of all of this because it's not about blame. It's just it's just very much about awareness and reclaiming your power because you deserve it. So let's get into like what energetic leaks actually mean. So this can be like overgiving, people pleasing, perfectionism, all of these subconscious patterns that we don't even really realize sometimes that we're like following, or sometimes you've got the awareness, but you're still just, in that cycle. Again, that's okay. We're just bringing awareness to all of this. Another energetic leak could be like chronic stress. So like I was just saying, like if you're like always doing a ovulation test, constantly doing an ovulation test, you're in a fertile window, and then potentially you don't conceive that month, that is you're in a state of survival because you're so focused on something that you cannot control, and it becomes it's a lot. Like it is a lot to be in that state of chronic stress. And I just want to see you in that and just know that you do not have to stay stuck in that, and it's okay if you're in that right now. Again, it's about awareness. I know this is a really touchy subject, especially if you've been trying for a really long time. Even if you haven't, it's a touchy subject. But another like thing around like what is an energetic leak is living disconnected from your feminine, like I mentioned before. So not connecting in with your pleasure, not connecting in with the softness and the trust and the surrender. It's so easy to make sex about, you know, wanting to have a baby. And then every time you're having sex, you're thinking, this is going to be the time. Please, God, can this be the time? But you're not actually present with your partner. You're not present with your body. You're not softening in to receiving. It's just become a chore. And when it becomes that is you not being in your feminine. And we want to bring back that femininity, right? We want to bring that back. And we want to feel present in our body. So if you're not feeling present in your body, it might just look like that hypervigilance almost, like, you know, when you're like always, I guess like in brace mode, like obsessively like looking for symptoms, obsessively pregnancy testing or ovulation testing and tracking everything, or potentially like going, I can't have that. Just trying to have control and like constantly doing and researching, and just that constant kind of like gripping, almost like I keep going to like grip my hands. Like, I guess that's like, yeah, again, like the like bracing, because this being stuck in this it is an energetic leak. It is actually blocking you, because if you're creating something, you're in a flow state. Think about even when you're doing a painting, right? You're in a flow state. We're not in our minds where we're flowing. We're in that feminine, moving through it. And the same as conception, it thrives in that flow, in the safety, and not chronically pressure, like feeling pressure internally. So that's, my brain has just actually forgotten if there was a point to all of that, but I'm sure that all landed. And if you're listening and that makes sense, thank goodness. Another leak that we can have when we're wanting to conceive is, sorry, I'm literally like losing my breath. It's actually crazy. I'm sitting here speaking and I'm losing my breath. Like, pregnancy is wild. Like, what do you mean I'm losing my breath and I'm just sitting here? But another energetic leak that we may have if you are like wanting to conceive is more like looking into the future. And this could be completely unconscious as well. But you want the baby, but you actually are really, really scared of like how birth might go. Or you're actually really, really scared of losing yourself through matrescence, or your relationship changing, or financial pressure, or feeling depleted. So it's like one of those push and pulls where like your mind might be saying yes, but your body might be being like, oh, it's just not ready yet. And this is really, really huge, like in preconception work. And it can be really, really big as well if you, I'm going to use like an example here. Potentially you've had a past of not being treated well in relationships, right? You've never been able to find someone who's treated you well, but now this partner that you're with, he's the one or she's the one, and you are feeling really, really connected, embodied, supported. You really want a kid with them, but your body your body is still in that state of, but it's not safe to be in my feminine. It's not safe to receive right now. And that is like one of those unconscious things where like your mind is like, yes, this is what we want, but your body's actually like, it's not safe yet. Another thing that we could be looking at as well, like if it's not just a relationship, it could be potentially you've had with your previous birth, like potentially your preconception's looking a little bit difficult and you are already a mum, and maybe you have previous birth trauma. Again, it's like kind of that like your mind is saying yes, but your body is like remembering. There could be like miscarriage or like even grief around an abortion. It can literally be as simple as like heartbreak from high school still sitting in your body. I know that sounds so crazy, but our bodies hold on to so much more than we realize. And another big one is like mother wounds. Like, you know, like if you grew up and you didn't feel seen by your mum, or you don't want to repeat the same patterns that your mum did, anything like that can also really come into play, where your body is holding that, but your mind is like almost like you may not even have any idea that you have these beliefs until you start bringing awareness to them. But once we have that awareness, what are we actually doing? Because I think it's really important that we also bring this piece into this conversation around, like, yes, these are the things that could be blocking your conception, but how can we actually start to move towards not blocking conception? So I feel like I say this all the time, that I feel like a robot when I say it, but nervous system regulation is huge, because when we're in that state of survival, we don't feel safe. And we need to feel safe to conceive and to bring life into this world. To conceive and bring life into this world, two different things, but both intertwined, and have that safety in our body. So can we build that like safety within ourselves? Another thing is also like journaling or voice noting yourself, whatever feels good, or even going to a women's circle and speaking these fears that you might have around motherhood and postpartum. And this can be whether it's your first time having a baby, or again, maybe you've experienced it, but you remember how hard postpartum was with your first baby. And now you're energetically blocking yourself from being able to conceive, because there's like a lot of fear there. Going to like a supportive women's circle, and if you're Sunshine Coast based, I do have these events on regularly called Held. Go over to my Instagram. Everything's linked below and you can find out about them, but it's a space where we can speak these conversations in real life together. Fears around motherhood and postpartum. And also at these events, I do womb healings on everyone, and it's really beautiful. And I've had so much great feedback from all of the women who have attended in the past. So just keep that one in mind as well if you're local. If not, jump on an online virtual doula session with me. We can still move through all of this. Anyway, back to like how we can sort of close these leaks. Doing like work on the grief that you might be feeling from loss, or from like your teenage self might just be needing some support. That inner child might just be needing some support, and connecting in with her and really giving space to the grief and what she's holding. And we can do this through womb healing as well. So like, again, womb healing is so beneficial. I need to do a whole episode on womb healing, but again, I'm going to tell you over on my Instagram, I've got a couple of things about it there, so you can definitely go have a look. We also want to look at bringing in some boundaries that are actually protecting your energy, so that you're not overgiving. Because again, those parts of self where you like overgive, people please. We need boundaries in place so that you're not doing that. Another thing to support these energetic leaks is practicing being in your feminine. I know, it's crazy I keep coming back to this, but allowing yourself to receive. Is it a friend buying you a coffee? Is it your partner? I don't know, what's something? Why can't I think of something? Like maybe your partner like offering to cook for the night, or something like that, right? And just like allowing it to be okay that someone wants to support you. And even like just actually asking, like if you're tired, just being like, hey babe, could you grab dinner on the way home? You know, little things like that. It seems like, oh, that's not going to help my conception. Well, let me tell you, if you do not let yourself receive, well, how are you going to receive a little baby in your womb if you can't even let yourself receive a $5 coffee? You know, when we put it like that. And this is all coming from an energetic side. Just remember, no blame, just awareness. So I just want to remind you that, just to wrap up this episode, pregnancy, falling pregnant, it's not just a biological thing. It's also extremely energetic, extremely spiritual. So ask yourself, where is your energy leaking, and what would safety feel like instead? Or where are you not feeling safe? And I also want to end this on, your body is not failing you. Sometimes it's just that the deepest fertility work isn't adding more things, but it's actually just letting go of what is draining you. Connecting in with those past versions of yourself, feeling that connection to your body, to who you are, and allowing that allowing that to be okay, I would, yeah, that is all. My brain. Anyway, I'm going to stop podcast recording today because I think a few of my episodes have been a little bit mum brain activated. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I just want to remind you again, if you are currently moving through preconception and you would love some support, especially on this side of it, the energetic, the spiritual, the emotional side of your fertility journey, please reach out. I've done so much work with this in the past with clients. I've supported women to fall pregnant through facilitating womb healing and having that sacred space to unpack a lot of these things that are often missed in they aren't often, they are always missed in like the mainstream medical like direction of fertility. And it doesn't have to look like completely stopping your fertility treatments or whatever it is that you're doing, but it could just look like opening up your heart to something more like this. So if this episode has resonated, please reach out. Please let me know. Just know I do virtual sessions or sessions on the Sunshine Coast. And yeah, that is really everything. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. And I look forward to being back in your ears on Friday with a guest episode and then next week with a solo doula episode. Don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to the show, hit that follow button, rate the show, share it with a friend, all of the things to support us to grow. I love you so much, and I'll be back in your ears again soon.